Welcome to this video on Introduction to Python Functions. In this subsection, you will learn what is function and types of function, brief introduction to built-in functions, Python user-defined functions and its syntax, how to use user-defined functions to write Python programs, what are the advantages of functions, and some example applications of functions. So first let us start with what is a function. So a block of organized reusable code which is used to perform some specific task is known as a function. So what are the types of a function? So there are two types of functions. One is built-in function. We have already used some of the built-in functions like print function to print message or print output of a program. So these are all the examples of built-in function that we already use to perform this specific task. And then second type of functions are user-defined functions. So now first let us look at what is a built-in function. A function which is already defined in a programming language with a set of statements to perform some specific task is called built-in function. And here is a list of different built-in functions, and some of the functions we already use like this input function, print function, right, bin function, and then type conversion functions like integer, float, str. We already use ABS function to find absolute of a given number, right. Then there are other built-in functions like make function is used to find maximum of two numbers or any iterable. So here, say for example, 3 and 8 are given as argument to the function. So it will give us the largest of the two numbers. If we are say having 3, 4 numbers over here, say for example 15, then it will give the maximum of all the numbers which are specified as argument to this max. Same way, for example, we have a list of numbers, right, and if we specify list as argument to max function, then it will find maximum number from this list. So here the maximum number is 100. Same way, there is a minimum function to find minimum of two numbers. So here x is equal to 10, y is equal to 5, and we are passing these two as argument. So it is giving minimum of these two, minimum is 5. Fine. Same way, say for example, we pass hello string as argument to minimum. So here it will give a letter whose Unicode value is smallest one. So here letter E is having the smallest Unicode value among all these characters, right? And then we have already used len function to find length of a string or length of an iterable. So here length of this hello string is 5, and here is a list, and we can find length of a list. So here total number of elements in a list are there. This is just a brief introduction of a built-in functions. We will have a separate detailed video on built-in function. Now let us look at Python user-defined functions and its syntax. Here is a syntax of Python user-defined functions, and it has 7 different components. Same syntax is given over here in this image. So the very first component of the function definition is the def keyword. This keyword indicates the start of the definition of the function. Then second component of the function syntax is function name. It is over here. Then third component is parameter list with the parenthesis. Then the fifth component is function documentation string, which describes the function, what operation is being performed by the function, what parameters are received by the function, and what value it does return. Then sixth component is a block of statement that performs that specific task, and seventh component is nothing but a return statement. This is optional. The function can return value from this function using this return statement. So here we can have any single variable or a expression or multiple variables. So function documentation string and these return statements are optional. Now let us look at how to use user-defined functions to write Python programs. So here program statement is given. Write a program to print message using user-defined function. So here we already defined a function for printing a message. So this is a function definition, and here is a function code. Now let us try to understand this program step by step, how we are using functions to print a message. So here the function definition starts with the first component, that is a def keyword. Then the second component is function name, and third component is the parameter list. Here one parameter is there with this parenthesis, and fourth component is this colon. So colon indicates the start of the block of statement of that particular function, and within this function we have only one statement, that is a print message. And here we can have a document string like this, right? We can include document string within triple single quote or triple double quote. So here we can write that the input is a message passed from function call the function prints. Here is a 2-line documentation string. Task performed by this particular function is nothing but printing the message which is received over here. In this function we don't have any return statement, as the return statement is optional and here we don't require it. So over here we end the function definition. This is complete function definition of the print message function. Now outside the function we have a input statement which reads a message from the keyboard and will store in a variable msg, and then we have a function called statement print underscore message, and we are passing the message that we are reading from the keyboard, right? So execution of this program will start from this input statement. So whenever we run program, it will ask for a message, then it will call this print underscore message function and will pass this message which we are reading from the keyboard. The execution will go to this function definition. The string will be passed as an argument to this print underscore message function, and here only one executable statement is there within this function, that is print message is and whatever message, so it will print. Now let us run this program. So there is some error, end of line means, so here we can see that there is a one additional quote was there. Now let us run it again. So now it is asking for a message. Let us type a message, hello everyone. Fine. So here we can see that the output is message is hello everyone. So here we are reading this message is read by this function, input function will be stored in this, and then this same message, this message is passed as argument to this function, and this message is received by this function definition and it is printed by this function. Now let us look at the program to add two numbers using function. First of all, let us try to understand how we can write a program to add two numbers using a function. So very first thing is we have to define a function and we have to give some name, and here we are giving, say for example, name of the function is add numbers. Then we have to receive some numbers as an argument to this function which we want to add. So this will receive two numbers and then we will add that number, and then we will print the result of the addition of these two numbers, and here we are not returning any value. Fine. Outside the function definition we will be reading two numbers from keyboard, then we will call the function add numbers and pass these numbers as argument to this function. Fine. So this is how we can develop a logic for adding two numbers. Now let us start defining a function. So function definition starts with the keyword def, and here let us write the name of the function numbers, and now let us specify the parameters x and y which we want to add. Now within this function we can have some documentation string. X and y are the numbers to be added, and then in second line we can have a documentation string add two numbers x and y and print the sum of numbers. So this is a documentation string. So here we have taken the two numbers. Now let us add two numbers. So answer is equal to x plus y, x plus y, and then next is print the result of the addition. So here we will print the result, the f, here print formatting string. Let us have a new line, then we will print the result in this format, addition of x and y is equal to answer. Now we have completed the definition of the function. As this is a Jupyter notebook, we have flexibility to define function in a separate cell, and then we can read value in a separate cell, and then we can call that function over here. So here we are reading two numbers x and y using the input statement, and now let us call this function add numbers. So let us copy that function, and this is a function call add x y. So this will call the function. Now let us run this program and it will ask for two numbers. So let us enter 4 and then let us enter 6. So addition of x is equal to 4 and y is equal to 6 is 10. So this is how we can use functions to add two numbers using function. So now let us look at the advantages of using functions. So very first advantage is it helps to divide the large programs into small groups so that we can debug the program faster and better. Means error and debugging of the program is very easier. Second advantage is it maximizes the code reusability, and which leads to the faster development of program and faster development of applications. Third advantage is it minimizes the redundancy, and which leads to the smaller program or application size. Fourth advantage is it improves the clarity of code and hence increases the program readability. Fifth advantage is modifying a program becomes easier by using functions, because we have divided the complete program into small functions. So whenever we have to modify, we can directly jump to the function where we need modification, or if we need to add some other functionality, then we can define some functions. So modification and maintenance of the program or application becomes easier. Now let us look at some of the example applications of functions. So very first example application is functions can be used for implementation of stack data structure. So here for implementation of a function, we can define function like push function to push the data item on the top of the stack, and pop function to retrieve the data element from top of the stack. We can define pip function to see what element is there on the top of this stack. So this is how we can define different functions to implement a stack data structure. The second application is implementation of queue and data structure. As we know that it is a first in first out data structure, we may define different functions to implement this queue. For example, insert an element at the end of the queue, delete an element, delete element function to delete an element from the start of the queue, and print function to print the content of it. And we may have few more functions to perform other tasks for implementation of a queue data structure. Then similarly, we can implement different data structures like linked list, tree, forest, etc. using functions. Then fourth application of functions is we can implement any game using functions. For example, if it is a TikTok game, then we can define a function to create a game board. We can define a function for getting input of a player. Then we can define a function place marker to put the cross or a zero marker on the game board. Then we can define a check function, check win function to check whether a particular player is winning or not. So in any application where we can divide the complete problem into sub-problems or subtasks, then we can perform that individual subtask by defining a function. So this is all about the introduction to Python function. And in next video, you will learn about Python built-in functions and their uses in Python programming. Thanks for watching this video. Have a great time.